a day since I've been live on the YouTubes. Hey, everybody. I'm doing this little cabinet. It's very, very narrow. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawers. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5 drawers. And it's very, very narrow, but I'm going to use it for my brushes. I'm going to separate them and use them. Use something like, utensil separators, that you can separate your utensils in your drawers. So right now I am just putting some highlights on there. I'm going to add in, I started with some purples, blue, magenta, and some lime in the background. But I'm gonna try and make this a very loose painting on the flowers. So I'm using this brush that kind of helps me be more loose. I don't want to be very rigid in this one. So I have to really get some more water. Hope everybody's good. Hey, and if you have if this is the first time you've seen me, my name is Shannon Olson. I'm owner artist of Nana's Workshop, and I am an artist. I do canvas and furniture art, mainly canvas, and I inspire others to create. And so my main subjects usually are flowers or something from the garden. I have done, now I'm going to switch to some dark. So I'm going to grab some purple and some black. I'm going to go the opposite side. So we're just going to brush in some of this dark. And it's okay if it's mixing. I don't care if it's mixing with that lighter color. It's just going to give it that much more texture. And it's going to give it that feathery look. So, and I'll bring back in that other purple on top so I don't lose that main color. So, but I like that darker. I need that darker in since I did the lighter. So now I have to come back and do the darker. But this is what I'm working on today. I have to find, and I'm using a mixture of acrylics and chalk paint. If you're wondering what kind of paint I'm using, I do that a lot. I will mix up my mediums, and which I enjoy because sometimes I like the texture of chalk paint on certain things for backgrounds, and then I can come back in with acrylics for the main subject. So you can see now that I'm using the darker and the light, other than the purple that was already there. I might paint in that center, a little bit of black in that center. And now I'm going to come back in with the original purple. I'll wipe it off a little bit. And then I'm just going to brush that in lightly over both the dark and the light. Because I'm going to be bringing in other colors. I'm going to be bringing in ultramarine and magenta as well over top of this. So there's going to be a lot of layers going on here. but I want to bring that dark purple back into it a little bit. Another thing I like to use is, I'm going to move on to the ultramarine blue. Clean my brush out. And then I'll do the magenta last. If I can get it to come out. Bear with me, guys. I am still here. Okay. So basically I'm going to do the same thing with the ultramarine. I'm going to start. I need some extra water though. So I'm just going to brush that blue in. That looks really nice blended in with that. I really like that. It's really pretty. Maybe see it a little bit better when I bring it down in here. So yeah, I'm using 3 different colors so far. Now I'm going to bring in a lime later on. And maybe I might even bring in a touch of turquoise for a little bit of some pop in those petals. I really like that blue in there. So now I'm going to add some white. We're going to do the same thing that we did to the purple. Going to add in some white to that blue, ultramarine blue. Keep in mind, it's ultramarine blue. Just going to brush it in on the one side. I don't want these other colors underneath covered up. So we will lightly brush them in. Okay, and then I could probably start maybe giving a little bit of outline on those leaves. And then I'm going to go back and grab that black now. A little bit of black in with that ultramarine, so it's just a dark, pretty dark navy blue. And that's going to go on the opposite side. Just a touch of it. Add some to the leaves if you want. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add some of that to the bottom of that center of the flower. All right. And now I'm gonna save that because I might come back. Never know when you have to come back. I'm gonna add magenta next. And these are the colors of acrylics. I'm not using any chalk paint at this time. So these are acrylics. I'm going to do the same thing here with the magenta. I'm going to bring that in. That really, almost like the lipstick on top of the icing on top of the cake, so to speak. So I really love that color coming in. It's really, really pretty. I'm not going to worry if it doesn't stand out on some of them because you don't want every petal to be the same. You don't want every petal to be perfect. Just like the other ones. They are each different in their own right. All right, so now I'm going to come back. Let's add a little bit to those leaves. Each color I'm going to add to the leaves. So let's go ahead and add the white to this. Add some white to the magenta. It's going to look pink. And we'll just give it a little bit of a highlight here. Put some up there. Some roughly on the edges. I'm really liking that. Really, really liking that. It's really pretty. Okay, add some of the leaves here for a highlight. All right, I really like that. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to, let's get some of that, let's get some of the lime out there for some of the vines, or the stems. That's really going to make it pop. So I'm going to actually probably grab some brown. Because that green is really going to get crazy green, let's just say. Alright, we're going to use a little bit of brown. And we're going to be doing basically the same thing. I want to do highlight and low light. So I'm watering down my paint and I'm bringing down just the ink. I'm coming right back over top of that black. And I'm putting some in the bottom of those leaves. We will be adding some of that to the leaves, some of the lime to the leaves as well. So there we have a little bit of color. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of white. Let's go with some white here. I'll give it some different dimension here. As we go down. We'll add some light color brown to the tops of those leaves as well. Let's add a little bit to that center. Let's go back to the regular brown and add a little bit to that center. There. That's a little bit better. All right, now I'm going to add some black to the brown. For a darker, deeper brown. And we'll just go on the opposite side here, and willy-nilly, where it might be shaded a little bit more. Where we don't need it that bright. And we'll come in underneath those leaves again for that darkness. And come in underneath that center as well. Okay, so now let's add some fun. Let's add some of that lime. Wait a minute. There we go. Now, I probably will add brown to this green if I want to tone it down. But we're just going to get it on there and see. It's going to stand out quite a bit. It's kind of transparent, but I do love the contrast. Now I might even add some to the center of that flower, top of it. Okay, let's add in, now I'm going to add in some brown to that green. I'm going to add a leaf over here because it's kind of missing something over here, so add some of these other colors in. Some of that blue. And a lighter color. I want some of that lighter color of pink. So that one is good. I'm gonna come back and add a little bit more green to the top of that. So now, I think what I want to do I'm going to feather some of this lime into the petals, just a little bit. To kind of bring the stem and the flower together. Also going to come back with some turquoise. I do want to add in some turquoise, so we're just going to add a little bit in these smaller ones. All right, now I'm going to grab that turquoise. So hold on 1 minute. And let's have some fun with this. So I might grab my other brush. I need my wider brush. Yeah. Maybe this one. Yeah, I like that. That gives it a little bit more color. I like that. Brushed over the top there. Very pretty. And I'm going to bring it in actually into some of that darkness to bring that tied in together so you can see the other side of the petals. We're almost done with this side. A little bit in the middle. I'm going to call that side good. Bringing in some things near the bottom to kind of tie in the bottom so it doesn't look like they're floating. And there we go, guys. You can do a close-up. Really want to see they almost look iridescent with the colors that I used here. Yeah. There we go. So now I have 2 more sides to go. Thanks guys for watching.